Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Burgess, a.k.a. KB, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Lecrae is big brother to me. It's been that for a long time.
I can testify that you've been very supportive of me internally. But it felt like in public, there was a difference, you know?
I can't holler at this dude, he's too Christian.
Yeah, exactly. I pulled you aside, I said, hey bro, are you ashamed of me and Triple E? Because there was a season where our relationship had become like 50% contentious. I remember going to counseling.
Really?
Wow. I remember one time, I'm gonna tell the story. Y'all can edit this out if you didn't.
No, tell the story.
I remember one time
there was a season where I said, don't call me a Christian hip hop artist. I'm popping up in more of these mainstream spaces, and people would say, Lecrae, you sold out.
This is really kind of the first time that I have talked about this candidly. I feel
This is The Deep End with Lecrae.
Hey, what's going on, Deep End listeners? Listen, I love you, all right? Love me back. If you've been listening to us on YouTube, make sure you also follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your audio podcasts, because we don't want you to miss an episode, all right? And they keep coming. They're not going to stop. So lock in and keep listening to us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one that a lot of people have been waiting for. Now, for those people who are listening and not watching, I'm going to actually read this bio because I don't need to read this. I know this man. This is like a family member. But I'm going to read this because those of us who are listening need the details, okay? So listen to this. Listen to this. He's been doing this a long time. He has been traversing the world as one of the most phenomenal rappers that you've ever encountered. Okay, this man is one of the most theologically astute musicians that you're gonna find. Grew up on the south side of St. Petersburg, Florida. Came to faith at 16 years old when somebody handed him a Christian hip hop CD. Had 8 songs on it in the gospel presentation. His whole life changed from there. And everything he's done since, every record, every stage, every book, every conversation has been in the service of the same thing that saved him. He is a Dove Award winner, 5 studio albums, number 6 on the way. I think that's right. Title of the album is This Cannot Be Sold, which tells you everything that you need to know about where he's at right now, okay? This man is an author. I've seen some of the greatest theologians and thinkers you'll ever see with his book on their shelves. I'm one of them. Dangerous Jesus. It's a phenomenal book. He is, more importantly, a husband to Michelle, who's a wonderful, incredible person. A father of 3. One of the realest that you're ever going to meet, and not because he's got a degree, but because he's lived this out. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Burgess, a.k.a. KB, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Let's get into it. I had to read that.
Praise the Lord. I don't know who wrote that, but I'm grateful for it. Everything in there sounded pretty accurate to me.
Yeah, man. I like that, man. Now,
I love the seasoning you put on top. There's no way it says that I'm the greatest theologian.
What? You are stupid, brother.
On, brother.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
just rubbing 2 brain cells together, man. My fishing loaves for the Lord's work. I'm a little drummer boy.
Here you go. And he's humble. And he's humble. There's a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many places where we could go.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, with all the things that you've done, we could start anywhere. With our relationship, we could start anywhere. But I think it'd be good to take us back a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So how does somebody like you, coming from where you're from, land in Christian hip hop and like move in this space?
Yeah. You know, when I think about Christian hip hop in general, it is a saga of the absolutely unlikely, a saga of a group of men and women who nobody would have ever guessed would be where they are right now. There's nothing in our past that would indicate that this would be our future. There was no like some special wave of, some evangelist came through and dominated this region of the city and we were caught in that revival. This seemed to be something that God has done in such a way that nobody could take credit for it. There's no upbringing. There was no underground movement. It has been Jesus's meeting with us where we were, and then somehow connecting us into something that he was doing all over the globe. So I was in that. I was 16 years old. It was in my the bio you just read. Far from God, an extremely dark place. Fatherless again. I had 3 fathers in my life. All 3 of them had abandoned me, and I was trying to figure life out on my own. And as a result, I found myself in greater desperation. It was in that place that the light of the gospel became the thing that illuminated this darkness that I was kind of existing in. And it was through Christian hip hop, another unlikely thing. The dude I tell the story how the dude on the front cover of the album.
Give him some credit. Give him some shine.
His name is Minister, and he's a friend to this day.
With a Y, right?
He used to be called Sinister, and he was a big deal in Tampa as a secular artist. God got a hold of him, and he dropped the S and put an M, so it's MYNISTA.
Okay.
And he had a mixtape that could not be sold. It said on the front cover, it had that parental advisory sign, but instead of explicit, if you read closer, it said, "This is to never be sold and to be given away for free." And the title of the project was called Bloody Streets Volume 1. What about that says,
Jesus,
give this to your kids because it'll save them? I thought it was gangster music. But the dude who gave it to me, Jeremy Baker, he said, no, this is Christian music. Take it home, listen to it. I took the album home. It sounded like the music that I was accustomed to, which I later learned meant it was a language that I spoke. It was communication. It was also a kind of aggression that I understood as well. Like in our culture, oftentimes aggressive, like a bold, upfront, in your face, say what you mean what you say, is a way to indicate authenticity. And I felt that this dude was not shrinking back. And in hearing that attached to the gospel, my life was changed. And as a result, I desperately wanted everybody in the world to experience what I had experienced in my grandmother's house listening to that album. Bloody Streets came to mean that the blood of Jesus covers people in the streets. It doesn't just simply have some extra tickets that it might be able to squeeze you in. You are the target audience of the cross. That the blood of Jesus is for those that people say could never be saved. And I found myself in that number. And in trusting Jesus, I came alive. Then I got connected to a greater experience. I ran into folks like Cross Movement and Reach Records.
We're going to get there.
I don't want to get too quick. But I don't want to go too far ahead. But I just want to underscore that, and as a man that loves the church, I believe that the church is God's, sort of operation headquarters on earth. But fam, it was alone with him with a album that brought the light of the gospel to my heart. Who else could we? I wasn't next to a local like Christian bookstore. There was no institutional or organizational effort to produce people like me or like you. It was God rescuing us where we were and then bringing us into something that was a movement.
I also want to acknowledge anybody who's watching or listening to his timbre and the way he talks. This is how he talks whenever he's passionate about anything. So this is not a pulpit persona. This is KB.
I'm trying to turn it off, man.
Nah, I love it. It's you. So this is 16. A few years later, I'm on stage at Flavor Fest. And in Tampa, Florida. And
shout out to Pastor Tommy.
Yeah, Pastor Tommy puts you on the stage at Flavor Fest. And you and your crew HGA, His Glory Alone, were like, to me, I'm giving you my impression. This is how I saw it. So for anybody who doesn't know, Flavor Fest is like this Christian hip hop festival where you get Christian hip hop artists from around the country. It was small. It was like 8 Mile, this sweaty little room where you get us together. Yeah. And at this point in time, there's not like streaming, so you don't know who's out there. You're just kind of scouring. Right. So this is like an expose where you get to see what you've never saw.
That's right.
So, at the time, I had a little motion in the Christian hip hop space, and I'm performing. Yeah. But before I go up, Pastor Tommy put some of his. I don't know if y'all were members of his church or just part of it. I was. Okay, so members of his church, he's got members of his church have a group. Yeah. KB is the figurehead of this group. Yeah. They get on stage like some little gangsters, like Dipset. It was like a mob of young, energetic. It felt like a movement. And they were so passionate for Jesus. Y'all were just so passionate. And I remember the chant of just HGA, HGA. And I was like, yo, I see myself in them. I see 116. I see everything that was us in college in y'all. Yeah, boy. And I was like, yo, this is it. Like, this is, and as a catalyzer myself, I was like, whatever this is, I want to bottle this up and put it out there. So how like, talk to me about like your vantage point of that first account, because that was when it was like, yo, take my number. We need to link. We need to figure this out. I don't know what this is. And then, what it fast forwards into for you. Yes.
Let me just, one more shout out to Pastor Tommy, who intentionally, sneakily, all right, shut down all of the other stages at Flavor Fest so that everyone had to be in one room. And he opened up like a 10 to 15 minute slot before you went on stage, but he made sure that you were in the green room. I didn't know he was doing all of this. He made sure that you were in the green room, like, hey, Craig, you're about to go on. Just sit down right here. They had this busted TV that I think he said you started watching on that, and then you were like, no, I need to see this in person. You walked out, and so he set all of that up. So shout out to Pastor T. That actually affected the trajectory of my life and many of my brothers and sisters' lives that were on that stage. But anyways, so it's wild how the Spirit of God, when He rescues a person, brings them into a community that is more vast than they could ever imagine. I mean, right now, we are a part of the body of Christ globally, but also historically, that we are connected into a tradition, into a family that goes back to Abraham, right? And it never fails that you often feel like you're the only people that are doing this. And then the Lord says, hey, fam, you just got here. Like I was at work. Let me show you what else is going on. When we ran into 116 and the cross movement, it was clear that we had found our champions, our leaders. And we believed that what you all were doing on a national and international stage, we were doing for our city. We had no aspirations outside of Tampa. We want and still do. We wanted and still do want to see all of Tampa saved. That has been the goal. We thought in a lot of ways that the Unashamed movement was happening in a microcosm around, like y'all were going from city to city to city. We were going from town to town to town in Tampa, from jail to jail to jail, from group home to group home, to train station to bus station to club to club to club. We saw ourselves. Every song that came out in that season, I think about "Send Me, I'll Go." I think about from Real Talk, "Take Me as I Am." I'm sold out. Seeking God's face till we fold out. You want it, you got it. We ain't gotta. All of those things shake me, break me. I'd rather live like Christ than die unholy, bro. That y'all didn't know us, but we knew you. We were. It was like you try to get your nerves together. Like, what do I say? This is them. You know what I'm saying?
That's so crazy.
But setting that aside, y'all were our leaders. And so in a lot of ways, we already felt like we were connected. We were partnered. Y'all just didn't know it. You know what I'm saying? And so at Flavor Fest, when these worlds came together, and I want to remind you of this too, brother. After we got off stage, you went on stage right afterwards. I still got the video of this. And you were trying to start your set, but you were just too disrupted by what you had said. You said, I don't know about them HGA dudes for they I remember you said that for they because we joke about it all the time, bro. For they little, you said, man, praise God, man. Hallelujah, man. You know what I'm saying? He said they got their whole life ahead of them. They say Christ can have it all. I remember that joint.
Oh, man.
Fam, and then when we did talk to you, your first move wasn't, how do I monetize that? I just want to remind you of that, bro. Your first move was, how do I mentor that? What resources do y'all need? What churches y'all a part of? We were a part of a church, but we had this little other movement that was going on in my apartment that had no real leadership or structure. Sho Baraka pointed that out. Hey, brother, love what y'all doing. This is how you mature it. I just want to bless you and I got a lot of flowers to give you. But that's one of them that I want to throw your way too, is that there was a interest in seeing this last, not in a career sense, but in a faithfulness sense that we also were greatly impacted by. Yeah.
I did not want to interrupt this episode because it's amazing, but I have to talk to you because I know a lot of you are business owners and people who are stressed out, and this is a spiritual break for you. And I want to give you some tools. So first of all, when you're running a real business, right, miscommunication it's not just annoying, it actually costs you money. So if you miss a call or you're slow to a follow-up or a text that nobody answers or a customer who feels ignored, that is exactly how opportunity just quietly leaks out of the room. So it's one of the reasons why today's episode is brought to you by Quo. It's spelled Q-U-O. And this is the business communication system built so that you don't ever miss a call. Quo lets your whole team handle calls and texts from one shared number so everybody can see the conversation. And guess what? Customers don't have to repeat themselves. It works from your phone or your computer. And you can just keep your existing number, add teammates in minutes, and then you sync your CRM, and you can scale without everything getting all messy. And Quo is smart. The AI can log calls, create summaries, flag next steps, and it helps after hours, so nothing ever falls through the cracks. Listen, money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. I want y'all to try Quo free. Plus, I want you to get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/deepend. Quo.com/deepend. All my business owners out there, this is for you.
I don't want to jump too fast forward, but you saying that really makes some other things click for me. Like, I'm having a real moment as we're having this conversation because I did not know that was, and we've talked to tons of times. I don't think until this very moment that I understood the vantage point y'all had and the level of probably respect or reverence that y'all had, which makes sense how hurt you could be from some decisions that I've made historically. Like now it clicks. Because to me, I'm just me living in my skin. You know, it's like my dad is like, you know, what you mad at? I didn't want to stay at the house. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you were supposed to be my dad. And it's just like, it makes so much more sense, bro. So even as you're giving me flowers, I also want to extend like, bro, like unintentionally, I can see wounds that happen because I didn't recognize the level of reverence and respect that you had. Because I went through the same thing with Cross Movement.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So even in that, like now it's clicking because fast forward a little bit, right? We do end up signing you. You know, and to me, it's like, little bro. You know, I remember it's like, yo, come on the road with me and, you know, wait, you about to get married? Nah, don't come on the road with me.
I remember that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But then it reminds me of like when we're getting into creating music. And I think for me, it was like, yeah, do your thing. Go, do it. And you're like, wait, what? What do you mean?
Yes.
Like, you know, I remember.
Well said. Well said. Yeah.
I remember times of you being like, what is going on?
Yes.
And for me, I'm like, what you mean? What's going on? Come on, man. You have one of the Avengers now. Get to it. Get to it. Tell me how that felt for you. Like, walk me through.
Yeah.
Even if there's a story in there that you feel like.
Sure. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? This is, oh my God, so revelatory.
I don't think I don't think I've ever explained this to you. You know what? Because, and maybe we'll get into some of this in the podcast, because there was a season where our relationship had become like 50% contentious. Where it felt like, I remember going to counseling, being like,
Really?
yeah. Before the Unashamed tour 2012, I believe it was. Wow. I went to counseling to prep myself. At least, I was seeking answers for. There was a time where I feel like me and Cray, it did feel like I was his little brother, and he was cool to let me borrow the clothes he wasn't wearing anymore. But then it turned into something where I felt like I was the little brother. That mom was like, "Hey, take him with you," and you're like, "Again." It's stuff I'm trying to do that he don't get. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's one aspect.
Okay. That's good.
Anyways.
That's good.
So, but going into to Unashamed tour, I went to my counselor, Dr. Cox. He's with the Lord now. And I was like, Dr. Cox, like, how do I think I know how English works, but what I am saying is not being understood, and what he says to me, I don't get it either. How do we find some sort of middle ground where we can be on the road for 3 months and end it encouraged by one another?
Yeah.
One of the things that I begin to learn about myself back then, or I started to learn it back then, but I know it better now, is that I have a very, very, I have a sacred place in my heart for the relationships that I have. And I am a repair-driven kind of dude. So if I feel like something is out of whack or about to be out of whack, I have a tendency to try to get ahead of it. Sometimes I can carry more of it than is actually there. I can assume that you and I look at each other at the same way. Yeah. There were times where it would feel like, you do know that when I send a song to you and you send back an email saying, "Hey, this verse sucks, rewrite it." Do you know that means more coming from you than coming from a YouTube comment? Do you understand? Do you not see that?
No clue.
In a lot of ways, and this is how leadership works, you don't often ask or interview for the job. God begins to use you, and then you see people are following you, and then you become responsible for the movement that you're kind of the head of. And I really struggled for a while because I did see, I didn't know how to articulate it.
Yeah.
But it did feel like, I just don't think he sees that what he does has that, you think it's like you throw a jab as a grown man. It's different from throwing a jab as a 15-year-old. There's weight behind that, and then there's impact. It's hard to wrestle with. So I tried to get to a place where I can kind of live within the world of 116, within the dynamics where I could thrive and be an encouragement, not always feel like I got to be the odd man out or the misunderstood one or the dude who basically always is in the debate. And it was tough because I found myself, be honest with you, I found myself becoming someone that I didn't think I was. I like the debate. Like, you know that I love to sit back and spar. Yeah. But I am not the kind of person that likes to be a center of, I don't like to be a porcupine. Like, you make a lot of good points, but can't nobody be around you. I don't want to be that kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I felt like, it just felt like there was more and more friction that I didn't have the words for until later in life, and when I learned more about myself, and even as our relationship developed.
The crazy part about that is I was so oblivious.
Yeah.
Like, I really was like, oh, he got a problem? I didn't even know he had a problem.
Yeah.
And it also says a lot about me, because you nailed something about me in terms of like not realizing the impact. And some of my close friends have had to tell me, like, you see, the thing is, man, when you take a step, the ground shakes
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than you realize.
Yeah.
You think you just walking.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, for real?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of unintentional damage that I cause. My
Yeah.
intent doesn't match my impact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
well
it's
said.
like, I don't realize it. And so to me, I'm like, and we all come from broken families too. That's the other thing. It's
Yeah.
like not even realizing like, yo, this man's coming from a broken family with men have let him down consistently.
Yes.
And then he sends you a song, you like, nah, bro, do that again.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm young, not realizing, well, there's a more nurturing way you could have done this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, well, that's what we do to each other. That's what they do to me.
Yeah, that's right.
So then, go fix
for
it.
sure.
If it's fine for me, it's fine for everybody.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't think until I don't even know what year this was. It was years back, maybe 2016. I don't think until we had a conversation in 2016 did I understand the level to which you'd been hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, word.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I'm
remember. I
saying?
think we met at a spot here in Atlanta,
Yeah,
man, and
we
had
did.
a tearful reconciliation.
Yep.
It was powerful.
Yeah. And bro, so the crazy part is none of it was intentional.
Yeah.
And I hope you know that.
I do know that.
Okay.
And that's part of why I'm here, and our friendship has been strong throughout the years. In fact, I use our friendship as a model for what the Spirit of God does when you have two people who have hurt each other but are committed to reconcile in big and small ways. I remember one time. I'm gonna tell the story. Y'all can edit this out if you.
No, tell the story.
I remember one time me and Tripp were in the studio with you, and you were playing a new record. And in there was a line in the song, you were killing it. It was a bar, you were doing what you call rapidy raps. And so spiritual lyrical miracle in my swimming pool, right? And you had this line, something about your past or something like that, and it's like the radio station FM or something like that. I don't know if you remember saying it. You got so many bars you don't remember. Anyways, you asked, what do we think? I said, bro, I said, I must have talked for 5 seconds. Great, don't think you need that FM line. It just sounds corny to me. I don't like when Christians, do Christian curse words in a song. It's like, it's unnecessary. A lot of cursing in a song to me typically means your vocabulary isn't great. And yours is amazing. Then Tripp Lee went on for like 10 minutes about, Bible verses, and he just had this whole thing. But the next day, you called me. I got back to Tampa, you called me. I was at Chipotle, and you was like, hey, man, yo, I just feel like you don't really have anything encouraging to ever say to me. And you were like, are we good? Like, everything is fine? And I was like, crazy. I think we need to talk, bro, because you don't know this, but I think the same thing is happening on my end. When I sit back and think about some of the exchanges that we have, I think the relationship has become so sensitive that there are things that I know you aren't intending to do to hurt me that are bothering me. And then vice versa. It's speaking to a bigger issue. And I think the analogy that I used was a garden doesn't need to have like some sort of predator coming in and digging up the roots for it to go awry. You can have a garden go bad by just not dealing with it.
That's
Just
right.
let it sit.
That's right.
And that's what I feel like. I feel like over the years, as our lives have gotten more and more complicated, we've had this garden that at one time we were pruning, but now it sort of sits and time has gotten in and weeds just start growing and we need a reset. You know what I'm saying? And we've had many of those by God's grace, which I think is a testament to where we are today.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. The funny thing about it is it's like the person now currently in my life that I have the most tension with is my son. There's so much similarity. There's so much love. There's so much expectation. That it's like the conversations are more impassioned.
Yes.
Because I'm invested so heavily.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes,
And
yes.
I think that's a lot of the dynamic.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if I'm being honest, the person within Christian hip hop that I saw myself in more than anyone is you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this man is a natural leader. He's a catalyzer. He's a masochist.
Yeah.
I will throw my body on the line.
Lord, kill me if I don't preach the gospel.
And and this is my opinion, he's a better rapper than me.
Oh,
You know, and so I'm like,
make sure y'all clip that. I'm gonna use that to put my kids through college. You know,
so for me, I'm like, I have these great expectations of him, and I'm like, yo, man, shake it off, let's go.
Yes,
you know what I mean. But that's the way I was raised.
Yeah.
It's not, and it's what I'm learning. Even my wife will say to me about my son, it's like, hey, he's not you.
Ooh.
He's not you. He's him, and you have to address him the way he needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
What you needed, he may not need. He needs something different.
Yes.
That's what I didn't know.
Yes.
In our dynamic.
Fam, you know what it feels like to me? It feels like we in my early, this would have probably been like my mid-20s, where I think things really came to a head, especially when we were in Africa, bro. Man, Africa
Which I did not know.
Fam,
which is crazy to me. Africa was amazing to me. I think we having the time of our lives. KB is struggling.
Fam, I was writing in my journal, Lord, is it time for me to retire now? But anyways, it felt like to me, it was like we were asking the same question of each other, right? I was asking you, when are you going to lead and take responsibility of this movement and the fact that I am here and I have no idea what I'm doing? And I think you were asking the same thing for me. When are you going to become the leader you need to be and take responsibility of what you have before you?
Yep.
Listen, bro, you've got this label that believes in you. You've got this setup, fam. In the heyday, bro, we dropped Weight and Glory. I was just telling Tripp Lee this other day. By merit of being a part of the movement, okay, you didn't have to be. We had such a connection with our people that they believed us because the guys like Craig and Tripp and Tadashi and Shobaraka, if they said this dude is good, then they were good with the people.
Yeah.
20,000 your first week.
Yeah. Your album's going number one.
We're going to start from number one.
Album's going number one. The heyday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and from my perspective, I'm like, brother, do you not see that God has positioned you to lead in this? And I think from your perspective, me internally, you're saying, brother, do you not see that God has positioned you to lead in this?
Yeah.
And I think that probably was a part of, which is probably healthy in some ways. I'm sure some Christian psychologists out there saying, hey, this is what happens. And I know the paternal thing, us being both dads and grown men, can get weird. But I think that there is an analogy in here of how sons become men. You know what I'm saying? How fathers understand their sons. There's a transition there that I see happen often in communities.
All right. This is the most important announcement of the day. All right. A lot of people watch the podcast. They say, man, this was great. I wish I could go deeper. Deeper than the deep end is crazy, but I hear you. I'm listening. If you're wanting to go deeper spiritually, mentally, emotionally, practically, what I need you to do is check out Reconstruct You. All right. Reconstruct You is more than content. It's a guided community that helps people rebuild their faith and life with intention. So I want you to come be a part of this community. Go to Reconstruct You and join us right now. Just hit the link, scan the code. Reconstruct You is waiting for you. It's funny because, and I'm curious how you saw this and how you navigated it. But for me, I've always seen myself as a missionary. Right? I'm just a missionary and I want to reach the world. And for me specifically, it was like, the dark corners of the world, the marginalized, hip-hop community. We got to get them. By any means necessary, let's go in there and let's go get them. And so I'm like, yo, I'm having these revelations and these transformations, and I'm like, we need to go on Sway. We need to do this. We need to do that. And unbeknownst to me, just because y'all are gifted and y'all know y'all Bible, I'm like, I'm throwing y'all to the wolves. Get on here, do this. How is that public? Like you're thrust into fame. Sure. Did you feel prepared? How did you feel like having to deal with that? Like, oh shit, I got a bigger audience than I thought I would, or I'm low-key famous now in some regards, and especially in the Christian circles. Like I wasn't thinking about how that would affect anybody. I just was here.
Yeah. There you go. To be honest, you know, and I know we want to have deep conversation. This is the deep end. I really do believe that the early years for me being where there was fame. I mean, that there were, you know, thousands of people that were coming to see what we were doing, and you know, I popped out one time, you know, and you know, like 2,500 people showed up to something. Like, how is this happening? The dudes that put me on, though, when I think about you, I think about, you know, the Ambassador. I think about Flame. I think about Trip, 16 years old, putting his first album out. Talk about forget about the money, forget about the fame. You know, all that iconic line that changed my life. I believe it was from After the Music Stops. That I don't do this for the money. I don't do this for fame. I don't do this for the industry to know my name. I do this in hopes to glorify Yeshua the King. If you're feeling me, you should be doing the same. Those kinds of things made it really difficult for me to see myself as famous. I just was discipled by men and women who had #1 albums and multi-million-dollar companies and were, doing late night, people don't know this, but there's like 5 places that you can perform at as an artist and be in front of the most people at one time. And one of them is like doing Jimmy Kimmel. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm around people who have all these things, but they're worried about souls in their audience. We used to do the Unashamed tour, and we were killing ourselves doing this. But we would do the entire concert and then spend an hour
or more,
sometimes 2 hours, leading people to Jesus in person, praying over folks, counseling people, to the point where we were climbing in our bunks at like 1 a.m. dead to go do it again the next day.
Yeah.
It's very challenging it was weird. People, there were dudes that were, I can say this because it wasn't me. There were guys that were far less famous than you that had so much pride and arrogance and diva mentality. The red carpet had to be rolled out wherever they went. They had to have pedals that they walked on. This is my fear for the new generation of Christian artists too.
I'm with you.
Because they don't, unfortunately, get the crucible. They don't get they kind of get the victory without the cross.
Boy. Come on, preach, preacher.
And the cross, you don't see it when it's on your shoulder all the time. You don't think, wow, these splinters going into my back is really good. But on the other side, fam, your suffering, you kiss it because it is what has made you who you are right now. Your ability to navigate these worlds and be healthy and have relationships with people that you've been with for all these years. It makes you godly. It extends your contentment. Fam, at this stage in my life, it is clear to me that happiness is kind of like having a stable quality of life plus no jealousy. You put those things together, it's not that I need more. I just desire less. And because I desire less, I'm happy, fam.
Content.
I'm content. I'm whole. It's a superpower in this world. Contentment. This is why Paul says that godliness with contentment that's real profits. That's real gain. That's real riches. Those two things together. You don't get that. You do not get that. Excuse me. You do not get that by just saying it out loud or wanting it.
Yeah.
You get that through suffering. And I think and when I say suffering, I'm not just thinking about just simply like bad things happening to you or things not going your way. I mean being a disciplined person. We will not be the kind of people that let you make celebrities out of us. We will not let you do it. If you want stars, look for a different movement.
Yeah.
We also didn't have the temptation, I think about my younger artists, of seeing how great we were doing all the time.
All the time.
You don't get to see all these vanity metrics from your monthly listeners or your followers or what you did, all these analytics, all the things that the internet is feeding you to keep you feeding the beast.
Yeah.
So because you need more growth to feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
We didn't have that.
We didn't even have like you were saying, like your album's 20,000 first week, or your first album, or you were hitting top 5 at least on Billboard charts. We didn't have a lead measure to get that reality. We just made the music, and then that happened. It's like, oh, my
goodness,
I don't know how to repeat that,
fam. I used to get emails from y'all like, congratulations, you've got another #1 album. #1 Christian and gospel, #2 hip hop album in the world, Billboard Top 200. And I didn't know what to do with it. I said, oh, well, praise God. I didn't know it meant anything until now. I was in my office the other day because y'all made plaques for us. Some of the plaques are in here. And I'm walking to my office and I'm reading through this thing and I'm saying, oh man, it was Nas and then me. You know what I'm saying? It's like another album. It was me and then Rick Ross was underneath me. These things didn't hold a lot of value for us. Yeah. Not that they aren't valuable.
Sure.
But we valued something a lot more.
Absolutely.
And that was the condition of our souls. Y'all were concerned about were we serving at our churches? Were we making sure that our marriages were good?
Yeah.
All of those things made it so the fame kind of, you have to realize when people walk to the airport and three people bothered you in a row, like, wait, am I famous? So that's one of the gifts that y'all gave us.
So in saying that, you keeping it 1,000. So keep it 1,000.
Okay, brother.
Keep it 1,000.
Hold on to you.
All right. In saying that, there was a season where I said, don't call me a Christian hip hop artist.
Yeah.
Where, I'm popping up in more of these mainstream spaces and people would say, Lecrae, you sold out.
Yeah.
Lecrae, you've sold out. I want to know your thought process on it, how it affected you.
Yep.
What were the negative? Because in hindsight, of course, I can see, like, didn't think about that. But you were living it.
Yeah.
You were having to deal. I was just, I'm just moving.
Yep.
I'm not seeing the effects of all of this.
Yeah.
And people are trusting you as to hold on and not to sell out. Like KB hasn't sold out. Lecrae sold out, but KB ain't sold out. How are you navigating that?
Yeah. Let me say 2 things to qualify before I say anything else.
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 1, this is really kind of the first time that I have talked about this candidly. And it's because of my tremendous respect for you and what the Spirit of God has done in your life. There have been 2 albums that changed everything about me. I see where my life was going one direction and went somewhere else. And you have, it was 3 albums actually, and you have 2 of those 3 albums in my life. So I have far more to celebrate and be grateful for than I have to critique or challenge in you. So I want to start with that.
Sure. This is where he roasts me, though.
No, I'm not. And y'all can feel free to edit all of this out.
Go for it.
And then a second quick qualification.
Yeah.
I do believe that there was a need for me and everyone else to give you more grace in that season. As I look back on that, and it's not just, and if anybody out there who experienced 27, 28-year-old KB, and there's anything unsettled, I feel some of my greatest regrets in this life is that I did not lean more towards grace when people were struggling with things. I was more black and white, which I think there's absolutely a place for clarity and truth.
Sure.
And I stand by most of the things that I stood on. But the way that I applied truth, especially in my early 20s, I just wish I could have been more patient and gracious, giving people time to fail and still have me there. Anyways, hold on. Give me a second, bro.
You good, bro.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate you,
Grace
man.
is good, bro.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
It's just been very important for me in this season as as I've gotten older, my body has been breaking on me, and so I'm not able to jump as high. You know what I'm saying? we joking about I'm on show number 7 in 8 days. I'm doing 8 shows in 9 days. 31 years old, 29 years old, I would have flew through this.
Man.
Now it's very challenging.
Yeah.
But anyways, so with that being said, we were at South by Southwest. This is right before Church Close 1 came out. And if I know anything about Lecrae, I know he's a missionary. Missionaries, I was a missions major in school, and missionaries have to be strategic. They have to. How do you translate the Bible into for a people group, and you have a verse in there about the bread of heaven, and they don't have bread? So you have to be creative. You have to contextualize. You have to come up with things to make this make sense for the people that you're with. I know that you were very much aware of that. So I do believe that a lot of what you did came from a place of trying to contextualize and strategize for a greater purpose.
Sure.
I especially felt that way in the very beginning. We were at South by Southwest. It was right before, and please feel free to cut the story out if you want.
No, keep it.
But we were at South by Southwest, and we had our first mainstream showcase. Yes. And a text went out to all of us, to all the artists that were on the label that wanted to showcase, and was like, hey, tonight we really want to focus on our music just kind of being at the forefront. In between songs, let's not get real preachy, let's not do the whole, if Jesus, make some noise for Jesus kind of thing. If you really want to be impactful, get on the ground and talk to people. That's what I've been doing all week. So I got this text, and I was in the car with Trip and Andy Mineo, and I said, how y'all feel about this? And Trip had some struggles with it. Andy said he wanted some clarity. And I said, I don't like this. To me, it feels like now we have people from outside of our normal Christian space and in front of us. And I feel like we're acting as if we don't know how to talk to non-believers, like we never done it before. Before any of this, that's like we didn't have fans.
Yeah.
We're good at talking to non-believers because that's what we have done before we got here. Yeah. Most of my time has been evangelizing non-believers. I wasn't evangelizing Christians. In fact, until I got this platform, I wasn't in front of Christians all the time. I was in front of non-believers all the time. I think we're overthinking it. And I think that we have an opportunity tonight with a room full of non-believers to be even more explicit about the gospel because that's what we want to reach them. So we had a meeting, and we were all around the table. Ben was there too. And I think you said, does anybody have an issue with the strategy that we have, that we want to do tonight? And I'm like, I'm not going to tell Tony Stark that he's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't going to say anything. My beloved brother, Andy Mineo, literally said, KB has an issue with it. I looked at this man and said, bro. So I put together some mangled explanation that I was stumbling over my words and, and you gave a very moving response around our need to be missional here, our need to be cognizant of the people that are in the room, them not understanding the language and stuff like that. And I just was like, I hear you. I hear you. We went and did the concert, and 2 things happened. Number one, there was nothing but Christians in the room.
Nothing but Christians in that bug.
Wasn't a single non-believer in the room.
Like, who is a KB and Lecrae? I ain't going to see them. Meanwhile, all Christians,
right.
KB and Lecrae gonna be
here. They're there and packed out.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that happened. The second thing that happened is you performed some songs from Church Close 1. And one of the first joints was Spaz, right? which is incredible. Still one of my favorite songs from you to this day. My 16 is a sermon. Get your hands up in this service. It was a very Christian song. So at that point, in all honesty, here's what I begin to think. I think that Lecrae might be over-indexing how many non-believers have become core fans at this point. And I think that he's over-indexing how mainstream his music actually sounds. He has all the skills, way more than the skills of the average or of even popping mainstream artists.
Yeah.
But your Christianity bleeds through you. It's almost like I don't I think that you feel if it felt like you started to step into a space where it felt like you felt you were moving more stealthily.
And it wasn't the case.
And it wasn't the case.
But you know what's funny is no one had the maturity, language, foresight, or had been, if they had been where I had been, I didn't have access to them. To say, because even as you're saying, I'm like, that's so good. That is so good. Why did somebody tell me this?
Because I did not say it that way.
No.
I did not say it that way.
But it's so good and so true. But that's really good.
And that's what I kind of felt like it became it became more difficult the more successful you became. Because I mean, you're just slaying dragon after dragon, bro. I mean, from #1 albums. I remember when you went on BET and did the Cypher, bro. And I think what it felt like to me, and it makes perfect sense, and that's why I wanted to qualify this with that there was much grace needed.
Yeah.
But I think that the need to think through how is it that we package it in the way that it is heard, you know, end up ostracizing people who not only started with you, but accompanied the group that was also propelling you. So it became, you know, at one point I actually pulled you aside. I don't know if you remember this. At one point, I pulled you aside in the studio. I was in the studio, and I can testify that you've been very supportive of me, like internally. I mean, like, you know, you would praise me for my rapping abilities and stuff like that, and but it felt like in public there was a difference, you know.
I can't highlight this dude. He's too Christian.
Exactly. That's what I felt on some of the radio stations.
All y'all felt that way.
Yeah. So I pulled you aside. I said, "Hey, bro, you know I don't need you to do a record with me or put me on a tour with you or make sure that I can do Jimmy Kimmel Live. I don't care about none of that. But just man to man, are you ashamed of me and Trip Lee?" I don't know if you remember me asking you that.
I do vaguely remember.
Yeah. And I didn't push back on you. You said absolutely not. I love you. I wanted to similar to what you're saying right now. But you said to me, I just don't know how my fans will be able to stomach what you do. And I didn't push back on that. But it goes back to that thing of, I think that he has a vision, and he's managing a label and all these other things, and there was other things that were happening in life personally too. I mean, there's other thing that gets factored in. That I think that the trailblazing and interpreting what was going on and the impact of it, I feel like some of that was lost as we proceeded.
I appreciate you saying that. The funny thing is and also this is what I love about you, KB. You're always going to be. You're going to be real and you're going to be honest and transparent. I think as you've matured and grown, you've been able to, like, it's funny that you're like, man, I wish I wasn't so black and white. It's like, that's so funny because I don't even see you that way. It's been so long since you've been black and white. I'm like, oh, that's funny. I guess he was. But I think that I love what you said, though, about giving people grace. Because hindsight, I look back and I'm like, ooh, and I'm like, why did I, and the intention was good.
Sure.
The impact was not.
Yeah.
And I look back and I see like, oh, this really affected y'all.
Yeah.
Affected your music, affected the way people looked at us as a movement.
Yeah.
I think it really like, what I believe it is that it's similar to hearing a negative comment online.
Sure.
And you blow it up way bigger than it actually is.
Sure.
And so for me, it's like, yo, I just had a 2-hour convo with Kendrick Lamar. Non-believers are rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, brother.
Yes.
That was 6 people in the room.
Yeah, fam. I feel you. Yeah, I hear you.
And
yeah.
that's great.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah,
However, there's 6 million people over here that you're now shunning. And so, man, I do appreciate that. And it taught me a lot. Like, watching your moves and watching your consistency taught me a lot. One of the areas that if I never struggled with you in terms of your I never really was ashamed of you. I never struggled with you as an artist. I always thought you were super dope.
Yep.
There were times, of course, where I said, man, come on, just push through that wall, brother. Like, come on.
Yeah.
The one area where I had questions.
Let's go.
Where I was like, well, what's happening here? Is during a period where I did not understand what to do with evangelicalism and theology.
Yep.
And I recently heard you talk about Reformed theology and like, God is not in heaven like I'm Reformed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But we all came from spending a large bit of our time being discipled by Reformed evangelical culture.
Yeah, for sure.
No knock on doctrines of grace, no knock on the astute studying and the things that were taught to us in that, like to really be a student of the word and to really wrestle with things. And yet there are some cultural elements in that world as well that I felt like rubbed up against me in ways that I did not appreciate. And I was like, man, are you married to the, and I struggled there.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I was like,
we had some convos about that too.
right.
Yeah.
I struggled there. Like, yo, what are you married to? Because these, and I couldn't reconcile the theology from the people.
Yep.
Right. It's taken me some time to get to a healthier place where I can see like a theology can be beneficial, but the purveyor of it can be detrimental.
Sure.
But where are you now? Like, how do you navigate all of that? Because as a African-American man, as a black man in America, America, especially within church culture and evangelicalism, has been divisive, specifically politically.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when you move into the Reformed camps and categories, or even Southern Baptists, it's like those tend to be the people who would be typecast as the more non-inclusive, ethnically aware of what's happening in culture and society. So how does KB move in these spaces?
Yeah, so let me go back to I'm gonna answer that, but let me go back to that season because obviously the death of Trayvon Martin, and then years later the racial kind of upheavals that happened across the country in 2020 had tremendous effects on sort of the movement. So there were a few things that I think will happen. I think at least 3 come to mind. And hopefully I can keep them all. My brain is a foggy mess. Let me see if I can keep all 3. So I love to make all 3 of these points. Number 1, I think some of the awakening that you had, if I can be blatantly honest, is the deep end.
Yes.
Some of the awakening that you had, that you were navigating a racialized world that had something to do with you being the face of a Christian movement, that would love for you to bring to the table issues like abortion. Please talk about being pro-life. It's like if there's a table of the things that Christians care about, bring the pro-life issue to the table, which was no problem for us. We were staunchly pro-life. I am staunchly pro-life. Bring the issue of trafficking to the issue to the table. We'll drop that off. Bring the issue of world hunger to the table. Bring the issue of adoption to the table. All Christians celebrate those things. But when you tried to bring the issue of, hey, there's a second America that is happening in concentrated poverty areas that is marked by a particular racial group. And we need to, as Christians, have a theology that deals with that. Okay? When you brought that to the when we, and I'm saying you, I mean people in general, when we tried to bring that to the table, that's when there seemed to be the friction that and then it was questions of, hey, what do you think that we brought you in here to do? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I hear you, bro, but that's not what we brought you in here to do. I think when that happened, you, my brother, and others had an awakening that oh my gosh, we don't all mean the same thing by justice. We don't all mean the same thing by about how the gospel is pervasive and can go into all the nooks and crannies of this world and that's what I mean by I want to see racism end, is that the gospel has something to say with partiality on racial lines. Yeah. This is what God demands of his people. Heaven is a place where racism doesn't exist. Yeah. So racism should not be something that we would tolerate within his kingdom here.
That's right.
So that's what I mean. But we found out that some folks don't mean that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you and others became aware of that. And I love you, brother.
Yes.
I think that I was aware of that a lot sooner than you all were. I think many of the books.
My wife is like that. My wife she's like,
yeah, like
where you been?
Yeah, like what did you think you were doing on that stage?
Yeah.
For me, it felt like many of the books that you all started reading and passing around, we had already read those books. Many of the stances that you all were taking, we had already been through this. Now, in Reformed theology, and that's my second thing, but I'm gonna get to this first thing first. In Reformed theology, they have this Reformed culture. There's this thing called like the cage Calvinist stage, where you first discover the 5 points of Calvinism, and now you're a warrior stabbing people with sharpening the points, all that kind of stuff. And they talk about how you probably need to be in a cage for that period of time. You need to be around some godly, mature people that didn't just get here, but have seen this happen before, that can help you make sense of this. This is not supposed to be a gift to you to bash other Christians. This is a thing that's supposed to deepen your faith in Christ. You know why Reformed theology was so impactful to me? Because I was living in Southside St. Petersburg in concentrated poverty, no father. I'm there figuring out life by myself, surrounded by wild craziness. If there was not a sovereign God who had intentionally put me there and was going to get glory, not just despite, but through the environment that he shaped me in, I don't know if my relationship with God would be as strong. I would feel like I was just out there by fate or chance. The sovereignty of God was devotional to me before it was intellectual or even theological. You feel me? I believe, thanks to very good leaders, many of color, and some, my pastor for almost 8 years helped me deal with the rage that I felt at the black situation in America from its inception. As I begin to read about some of my heroes like Jonathan Edwards, and him going to purchase Venus from the market and running his finger through her mouth to make sure she had all her teeth before he purchased a human being. When I got to read the other side of folks like Baxter or Dabney, and I got to see that there was this, that Joe McDermott's book where he talks about how 50% of all defenses of slavery in America was done by Christians who are as conservative as me. Now, when I read all those things, I was livid. But by God's grace, I was caught by good pastors. Pastor Darrell in Tampa, Florida, many of the people in his community who like, brother, welcome to the conversation. And I felt like in a lot of ways, they matured me. So I'm not trying to call you immature. I'm just saying I had an outlet of men who had walked through this, had been we weren't the first people to protest. We weren't the first people. This didn't happen. Even what's happening in the Trump presidency right now. I met with a brother that's doing a documentary 2 weeks ago on Black evangelicalism, and one of the first things he said to me is, he said, "You think that this stuff happening with this political alignment with Trump is something that's new? No, we've seen this before. How did Christians think through it? How did they deal with it? And then, and this is the last point I'll make about this, and how do we make sure that we don't idolize our race in such a way that we begin to hate people who don't share it? Or we idolize our perspective in such a way that it leads us to hate people who don't share it. How do we get to a place where we are patient with those who don't see things the way that we do? And for me, I'm gonna be honest with you, the mark for me, because I got all the books. You want to talk Frantz Fanon, you want to talk about Douglas, you want to go back to the Black Republican with Lemuel Haynes, if you want to talk about critical race theory, you want to I have read all of those things. The test for me is not how well I can recount what some obscure the philosopher or speaker or revolutionary from some place in time, or a comparison between what Marcus Garvey did in comparison to what King was doing. Those things are great to study. But for me as a Christian, the Bible says that I have been given another race that is over the race that I have. I love the race that I have. I love being black. It's great. Wouldn't change it for the world. But my blackness serves a racial identity, according to 1 Peter, of being a chosen race and a royal priesthood. That means that I will love my neighbor even if they are acting as an enemy. On whatever line. My inability to do that, to have these conversations, my sort of wanting to be done with them. Go look it up yourself. Those kinds of things are anti-Christian to me. And I didn't feel that at first, but I praise God that I got mature men and women who came around me. So for me, it became very important for me to love my evangelical brothers and sisters who I thought were in error, while I would tell them the truth. And I think that you didn't see a lot of those conversations, which is fine. But I was on the road with folks having conversations. I was on the road with King and Country one time.
No, they told me.
Yeah.
They told me.
Joel changed. He said, "Man, I'm from Australia. I ain't know about that." No, I was like, "Well, you got to know about Aboriginals though, brother." But outside of that, he's like, "I don't have any real..."
Challenging me on these particular things.
So I remember sitting with them. We would get a fire pit outside the tour bus and would talk for hours, and we would cry together. And we would anchor it in the gospel and what God was doing and what our hope was. Because if you listen to dudes who were brilliant like Ta-Nehisi Coates, brilliant, but Ta-Nehisi Coates doesn't have any hope.
No.
There's no gospel connected to the end of what he does.
That's right.
And I want to live in the gospel hope of reconciliation, not just simply the truth about the current state of dysregulation between people. Anyways, I was gonna say, Joel literally got on stage and was changing his spiel every night to reflect these things. So anyways, there's not enough time. But that is really, really important that I felt there was a time, if you know, I'll say this again, y'all edit if y'all want. I was a little offended that you and a few other brothers who I felt like I had conversations about this years ago and did not see it the way that I saw it, all of a sudden had the fists in the air, the afro out, and the pick in the...
You and Shobaraka both.
Shobaraka would be he is the apotheosis of what I'm talking about.
Both of y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
Now y'all. Okay.
Now it's Fannie Lou Hamer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now it's the Freedom Riders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like there was I felt that betrayal at one point from a theological standpoint, historically and current day. But I felt like it was years before you all did. And I got brothers, I felt like I got to settle some ways and got caught where I could have went into full revolutionary mode. It felt like to me that you were processing all the things from, because your mom was a Black Panther and you were, I felt like you was sort of kind of pulling on some of your ancestral, you know what I'm saying, linear heritage, and then processing all these things that were happening while being the face
Oh my gosh.
of a movement.
It would've been
and
dope
then
if I wasn't
giving
the face.
interviews on it.
Yeah. It'd have been so dope if I wasn't the face.
Yeah.
It'd have been so dope if I could have processed that in private.
Yeah.
Sometimes there was times when people were just like, so, you know, what do you think about all this? I was like, I don't know. I don't even know if God is real no more, man. I don't know. It's like, cut the interview. Cut the interview.
That's enough. Thank you for your time, sir.
But that's really helpful. I guess what I hear you saying is that you've gotten to a place prior to where you can reconcile the truth, that two things can be true at the same time.
Yes.
That someone can be vehemently racist and yet embrace biblical truth.
Yes. Well, let me qualify that though. Yes, in that they can explain things or say things that are helpful for me.
Yeah.
Though they have this issue. Or they can do things that can be helpful for me and for people, though they have this issue. A la Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. Everyone thinks he's the same.
My wife is Afro-Latina. She's from, her whole family's from Panama. Abraham Lincoln was like, we didn't want y'all to stay here after we freed you. We wanted you to go to Chiriquí, Panama, and start a new black, freed slave thing down there. You know what I'm saying? Every man in this life, including me, that's the other thing too, that I had good pastors that helped me with too. Don't get so high on your horse that you forget that your sort of heresies might not be racial, but they might be moral. They may be immature. There is lack of sanctification and all-out rebellion in ways that you are blind to in you that God is patiently walking with you through.
Now.
Do not forget that that's your situation as well.
Yeah.
So what does it mean to be a black man that can still read the? I picked up the Puritans this morning. I am not a part of reform culture. I'll say that right now. I am probably, they would throw me out if they got a full glimpse of all the things that I'm on. But I can still from time to time, I can engage, or like St. Augustine.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about, Augustine has some very wild things that he believed about women.
Women, war,
Yes.
all kinds of things.
What it means to live in this world, I was going to say as a black man, but I just think as a human being, is that you are to engage with people who are good and bad.
Yeah.
And your ability to do that is really going to shape the way you carry yourself in whatever circle that you're in.
I gotta cut you off.
Come on.
Why are you still making music?
Brother.
Is it like you are
an excellent
clearly
question.
gifted. But you got new music coming out, but
Yeah.
I mean you are clearly so gifted at because it's not just that you are a great communicator. You're studious. You're a processor.
Yeah.
You want to walk people through the journey of certain things. Like if I would have had when I was 34 going through all of the racial trauma that I was dealing with.
Right.
If I would have had a 38, 39-year-old
Yeah.
KB in my life, I could have processed that.
Yeah.
I had no one.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
I had zero.
I feel that.
Nobody. Hello. No one, nobody. I'm like, hey, how?
Sound like Cat Williams. Nobody.
I had not a soul.
Yeah.
There was nobody.
Yeah.
It was just like, what do I do with this?
And you had to be on too. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You had to be on, like, it's like a brother of mine always said that, every time a tragedy happens, you don't need to do a press conference immediately.
Yeah.
But what if you get paid to do press conferences? Which is, I feel like, I've said this to you many times, like, man, I look up to you so much, but I have never struggled with envying you because I feel like with all of this great accolade and access comes great responsibility that I feel like there were many a times that if you just had a leap year. I mean, they used to do that thing up in Missouri where they would allow
the
high
gap
school
year.
students to have 1 year.
Yeah.
Before we just throw you into the wolves of college, just get 1 year to let the Bible go deep into your heart, into your soul, into your mind and mature, and then go out. And I think that pause is something that folks like me who wouldn't, but the majority of my life was still very much encapsulated in Tampa.
Yeah.
It gave me an ability to drop the ball
Yeah.
or to fail without a camera being in front of me.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I am, yeah, I'm honored and appreciative of, again, man, there's not many people that if people are asking me about Christian hip hop or minds, like I'm referencing you.
Amen.
If people have always said to me, who's gonna take the mantle if you fall, Lecrae, or if you fade away? I was like, KB is doing just fine. He is doing, and that's why when people would ask me like, how do you feel about him not being on Reach Records anymore?
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like it's awesome. He should be leading his own thing. I don't want, the goal is not to have a monopoly on the Christian rappers.
Amen.
The goal is how to, support and push this whole big thing so that we can have our unique voices within the body.
Amen.
Doing different things. So
Amen.
before you go though,
Yeah,
I do
for
want to
sure.
hear like what is coming.
Yeah. So two things. One is that I do have a new album coming out, This Cannot Be Sold, that comes out in July. And I'm following that up with another project that I'm almost done with right now. That'll either be an extension of This Cannot Be Sold or its own thing. And so that's the first thing.
Did I make the album?
No, you're on the second project.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, on the second project.
That's fine.
We got a joint called King, which didn't make your project, but we
threw me
spiffed
off.
it up. No,
On
we
the
spiffed
first
it up.
one instead.
It's on the second. Yeah. So we got that, and then I really want to lean in to the digital discipleship space.
As you should.
There is nothing that gives me life, and this is since I was 17 years old. There's nothing that has given me life like walking people, particularly towards Jesus. It's very difficult to do that with our schedules, bro, with our from a stage, doing a concert.
You got a
things
show
like
tonight.
That. I got a show tonight and tomorrow. It's and now, and it took the Lord doing this for me. I'm learning things about myself. There's a great book called Too Much that talks about this thing called it's called hyperproductive codependency. What is it? Is that what it's called? I might be butchering it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's this phrase that the author came up with, where people who have lived their lives being productive, catalyzing, making things happen, and the world has rewarded them for it. They've seen success doing it. They become dependent on it, though.
That's right.
I have to be helping people. I have to be solving people's issues. I have to be creating jobs. I have to be, and that stuff is all good and dandy when you're 28, 29, and you can sustain it, 31, 32, 33,
Yeah.
but man, your body starts saying, hey, we can't do this. And you
Out
have
of margin.
kids.
That's right.
And you have a wife.
That's right.
You know, and if you want to be committed to a community, you have people in this community that you can't answer their, you don't have the energy to respond to a text, fam. And breaking free of that has been like a 3-year journey for me. So in a lot of ways, I am winding things down.
Yeah.
Selling assets.
Yeah.
I am preparing for a kind of existence where I still want to make music.
Sure.
But I think that the main platform for it is shifting for me.
You're just transitioning from one aspect of communication to another.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's good.
And I say that because not only am I going there, but I do covet you all's prayers as I sort of walk into this space of I'm going on some more of these podcasts with people who are more hostile to the space that you're in. So I've accepted some more of those.
I love Southside Rabbi, by the way.
Yeah.
I love your podcast.
Shout out to Southside Rabbi.
Yeah, love
we've now, Trip is a part of it now regularly.
Hey.
So, yeah. So yeah, I'm praying the Lord would breathe on that and do great things as a result.
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you,
I just want to
broski.
let you know, man, I'm proud of you. There's nothing that you've done it all.
Yeah.
You've made your mother incredibly proud. You know what I'm saying? Which I
Yeah.
know is a big deal.
Yep. Yeah.
You've made us all proud, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, in my frailty and lack of understanding what it meant to be a leader, you survived my tyrannical leadership style, which was unintentional.
Sure, yeah,
but
yeah,
at the same time, man, I appreciate the grace that you give me
Amen.
in coming in, and I've learned so much. And I hate that, you know, you and Andy we call y'all season 2.
Yeah.
You know, y'all, it's like the first kid you have when you young, and they you don't know what you're doing, and so they get all the trauma. And I feel like you and Andy got all the trauma of us like figuring out what the heck.
Well said.
You know,
well said.
What are we doing? So,
Yeah.
you know, man, I appreciate you for your grace and your goodness, and man, you are a light. You're shining bright, brother.
Amen.
And we are eternally grateful for you
Amen.
out here in these
Amen.
streets. Listen, I think a lot of things were said today that are beneficial, probably for us in general.
Amen. Amen.
But just for the broader audience too, I think it's helpful for people to know and realize that even, you know, Peter and Paul had to bump heads for a season to come to a healthy place of like, you know, we both had to grow in a lot of ways.
Amen.
And I'm grateful that the Lord is so kind to like allow that to matriculate into this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
I'm proud of you, man. Keep going. Man. We love you, bro.
Love you back, bro. Thank you for everything.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Yes.
Hey, so make sure y'all subscribe to The Deep End on YouTube. We got full conversations, clips, behind the scenes moments, and content that we don't post anywhere else. So subscribe.
This is The Deep End with Lecrae.